ago. We appreciate it very much. The City Council and Mayor's races are for Districts 2 and 4 for the City Council and the Mayor's office. And this is where we get serious in terms of protocol. First, if you have an electronic device that you've not yet turned off, please do so. Mine's off. The candidates drew for the order which they will appear earlier this evening. They will alternate the order on questions and on opening and closing statements. Each candidate will have a 3-minute opening statement, and this being a long-established tradition, I have some very dominating timekeepers right here in front of me who develop the wall. Let me introduce Bonnie Esprit, Buddy Shepherd. Each candidate will ask, Jim, please. They're going to make it legitimate for me to be tough. So. Each candidate will answer 3 questions with a 1-minute response to the question. First, we have 2 timekeepers, as I mentioned. First candidate to answer it will have an option for a 30-second rebuttal if he or she chooses to do so. First question has been prepared by the Candidate Forum Committee. So that will go in each of the 2 districts. Mayor's race for both candidates. Questions 2 and 3 will be drawn from written questions that many of you put into the boxes tonight. The candidates will alternate drawing from the questions from the attendees, and each candidate will answer the same question. So if you think this is a little sleight of hand, it is. So follow the bouncing ball. The candidates will each have a closing 1.5-minute statement that will go in reverse order of their opening statements. We also point out the building will be open 30 minutes after the conclusion of this, so you'll have time to visit with the candidates. As you notice, they have information outside. You also have information, I'll repeat at the end of the meeting. Early voting opens next Monday, runs for a week at Duncanville Library, and the voting date itself is May 7th. It is a privilege, a responsibility, an opportunity that I hope you will all take advantage of. So we can have candidates for City Council District 2, Wendy Joyce Lowe and Stephen Rutledge. Welcome. They're drawing. Wendy Joyce Lowe goes first. You'll have time for her opening statement, followed by Stephen Rutledge. Ms. Joyce Lowe.
Good evening. Thank you, Chamber, and thank you, Rotary, for having us tonight. My name is Gwenda Joyce Lowe, and I'm a candidate for District 2, Duncanville City Council. Duncanville deserves an engaging and effective voice. I want to be that voice. My opponent has done nothing but committed a lot of waste and fraud. I want to say he has not made sound financial judgment. My opponent has supported and participated in an absurd trial, a so-called trial, where it was against a seated council member in District 5. The citizens of District 2 were not pleased with that because it was stated that $1 million+ were spent for that so-called trial. That's not good, sound financial judgment. My opponent also voted to take $145,000 from the water and utility fund. So here in Duncanville, we have a water increase. That's not using sound financial judgment for the citizens of District 2. When the funds were taken from the fund, this caused our city to drop below the 60-day reserve, which in the history of our city, that's been a long time ago that happened, but not in recent years. So it also increased our water bill. We're not too pleased in District 2 about that. Then we also see that $1 million+ was spent on EON project. Each month, we seem to get a different story about what the EON project is all about. We don't get any results, how many children are participating, What's the result of it? $1 million plus. We're not pleased in District 2 about that, and I want to make sure that our district is providing sound financial judgment, and I will speak for the voice of District 2. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Steve Rutherford, and I'm running for the District 2 Council seat in Duncanville. I grew up in Oak Cliff, graduated from Kimball High School in 1970. I graduated from Texas Tech University in 1974 with a degree in accounting, went to work for a public accounting firm, and received my CPA designation in 1976. In 1981, I was asked by one of my clients to become controller of an international packaging firm located in Irving. In 1985, that company decided to move to Connecticut, and my wife and I opted to stay in Duncanville. I worked as controller CFO for 2 or more companies before opening my own practice here in Duncanville in 1991. 2 years ago, I was elected to be the District 2 City Council member. Things that I wanted to see accomplished at that time were the following: hiring of a permanent city manager, a permanent assistant city manager, hiring of a new economic development director, and see the morale of the city employees restored. All of these and much more have been accomplished in the last 2 years. I've been asked what my goals are for the upcoming 2 years. One of my goals continues to be that we continue to work on economic development. We've got to increase the tax base so we can lighten the burden on the homeowners. We have to look at ways to fill up or repurpose the empty shopping centers that we have here in Duncanville. In addition to hiring an economic development director, we were also able to fill up the Economic Development Board with qualified, involved citizens. And this is also important to the city as we try to increase the tax base. And if you happen to be at the joint meeting between the Economic Development Board and the City Council on Tuesday night, you would have seen how well those two groups are working together to try to bring new business to Duncanville. The second goal is to try to work on the city's infrastructure. We do have an aging infrastructure. The city's just completed a study of every street and alley in Duncanville to see what conditions it's in. Some of the streets are in good condition, some of them are in not very good condition, and the costs involved are not insignificant. So what the next step the city and the council have to do is determine which areas we work on first and how do we pay for them. We've been very busy over the last 2 years. The city's developed a positive momentum, and we've made significant accomplishments. Some of these are: we've installed cameras in the council briefing room to provide more transparent government. We've improved communications with our citizens through a new LED sign, quarterly newsletter, and newly initiated town hall meetings that we have. We've initiated a long-term comprehensive master plan, and more than 90 citizens volunteer to be on boards and commissions. I think that this shows they have a track record of being involved in things that make our city a better place to live and work. Now, as to the fraud, I'm not sure what fraud you're talking about, but I'll be glad to talk about it to you later. That's why this is.
Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Lowe, you ready for question 1?
Yes, sir, I am.
For District 2, how would you rally the citizens of your district on an issue of importance to the entire city? And you have 1 minute, please.
Thank you. Going out canvassing the neighborhoods, I'm listening and taking notes from the citizens of District 2, and that's what we have to do. I'm learning so much from the citizens. A lot of citizens aren't even aware of who my opponent is. They've never heard of him. Sometimes we don't get out enough to even get the word out saying, District 2, where is that? I don't know where that is. So it is important for us to get together and have one-on-one sessions so that the citizens will know that their voice can be heard here in Duncanville.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rogers, you expect the vote? Yes. How would you rally the citizens of your district on an issue of importance to the entire city?
One of the things I did when I was first running 2 years ago is I knocked on, I don't know how many doors and talked to people in the city about what was going on in the city. I've continued to do that. And then one of the things I talked about in my opening remarks is that the city has initiated town hall meetings. We're having about every 2 months. We've had 4 already. We have a 5th one scheduled for, I think it's August, April the 26th. So I would continue to make sure that we have those town hall meetings that we continue to have them so that people can come out and talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Well, I still got some time. Okay. And another thing about people not knowing who I am, let me just read you. I jotted down a few people who I've helped in the last 2 years. I'm not going to read their last names, but I'll read their first names. Thomas, Vincent, Ann, Vicki, Robert Langford, Matt, Ken, Scott, Tommy, and Cheryl Ann. So I think people do that.
Thank you very much. You want to respond in any way? If not, we're ready to go ahead with the first question. Steve, if you will, please. Well, the first question. All right, so you'll step to the podium, please.
Okay.
The question is, how do you feel about continuing the Main Street development with economic development on Main Street?
Will you repeat it again?
How do you feel about continuing the Main Street development with economic development on Main Street?
Well, I'm for continuing economic development on Main Street. That's one of our main corridors that we've got to get people to. So if there's any question about whether we need new businesses there, I'm for the new businesses. We met with the Economic Development Board, and one of the things they've come up with was a study that showed what businesses in the area, or what types of businesses is this area lacking. And a lot of those would fit right into the Main Street project. So I'm for economic development on Main Street.
Any specific types?
Any specific types? Restaurants. I think there was small boutique clothing stores, coffee shop, ice cream store. That'd be my favorite. So just those are some of the ones we're lacking.
Thank you very much. Ms. Lowe? Let me restate the question, please. How do you feel about continuing the Main Street development with economic development on Main Street?
Economic growth and development is so important and crucial to our city. We love our city here in Duncanville. Doing our research, I found that a developer by the name of Monty Anderson, who my opponent supports, it seems like $1,700,000 of tax-paying dollars were given to that particular developer. And I think he has something to do with Main Street. It is important that we work so hard and tirelessly to find out what the citizens need to hear, would like to have done with the Main Street project. We don't need to always talk to developers alone. We need to find out what the citizens of Duncanville are interested in, and let's work from there. So let's get to the citizens and let them tell us a yes or no if we need to continue with the Main Street project. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you will. Well, we'll go on the second question.
Like everybody.
Yes,
Yes.
that's all right.
Well, one other thing I'd like to bring up is that the thing with Bonnie Anderson happened before I was even on the council.
But you supported it, sir, since then.
Let it respond.
Go ahead.
Okay. That happened before I was even on the council. We've had no support or non-support since then. The thing with Bonnie was all resolved before I came on the council. So I would recommend that in the future, when you make accusations at the podium like this, that you do your research. Because that is one of the things that you need to do when you're a councilman, is you got to research that.
You ready for the next question?
Do I get a chance to rebut to what he's just said?
No.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this question then.
Yes.
Do you find the surrounding cities as competitors or partners? And I would add why.
Yes. Our neighboring communities. It's so interesting that our neighboring partners, and I'm going to call them partners because a lot of our Duncanville citizens, especially in District 2, tend to shop and eat and do a lot of things in our neighboring surrounding communities because we don't have the services that those neighboring communities have. So we've been labeled sometimes as not being a friendly or not being friendly to small businesses. Well, we need to change that. And it would be great if we go about coming out with a plan, developing a plan so that we can see what it is that continues to draw our citizens to the neighboring communities. So how do we do it? We do sit down and come up with a plan. We listen to our citizens and we implement that plan after we've come up with our meeting with our partners. So yes, I am supporting. I do call them our partners.
Thank you. Mr. Rutherford?
Read the question again.
Indeed. Do you find the surrounding cities as competitors or partners? And I would also add how and why.
I would say that I find our surrounding cities as both competitors and partners. They're partners. One of the partner examples would be the Tri-City Animal Shelter. Another partner-like thing would be the Best Southwest, where we get together and we can provide political clout at the state level. Another partner type thing is we get together and we can buy equipment at a cheaper price because we buy it together. Competitor, they're definitely our competitors because they want the businesses that we're looking for. So they're both partners and competitors. And on the competitor stuff, that's why we need the economic development. We've got to get it out that we're looking for new businesses.
Any return?
Yes. Duncanville is a great place to live. And because of that, a lot of our neighboring cities do enjoy coming and actually living here. So they are both, as my opponent has says, competitors and they are our partners in that a lot of citizens live here in Duncanville, but we do spend our dollars in the neighboring cities. So we need to change that part, make a difference by getting together and decide on a plan so that we can be more of a partner than just the few things that have been listed by my opponent.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rutherford? Your opportunity for your closing statement. You'll have 1.5 minutes.
Well, the first thing I would like to do is thank the Duncanville Chamber of Commerce and the Rotary Club for putting on this event tonight. Why am I running for re-election? I've lived in Duncanville since 1976 and have had my CPA practice here since 1991. My wife Janie and I have been married for 32 years, and our family has been blessed to live in this city. We've had 3 children that have gone through the school district entirely here. They graduated from the high school. 2 years ago, I was asked by multiple individuals in the city to run for the District 2 position. I thought about the request and decided it was time to give something back to the city. We've been active members of the First United Methodist Church in Duncanville since 1985. We volunteered to help with the construction of Kidsville in the 1980s. When my kids were attending Duncanville High School, I was the treasurer of both the soccer boosters and the project graduation. I think this goes to show that my family and I, we are committed and we remain committed to Duncanville. And as a small business owner, I've learned that to build trust with my clients, I always have to look at what's in their best interest and not just my own. And with this belief, my strong business background, and my experience with the council, I believe that I'm the best candidate for the District 2 position. My overall goal has always been to do my best to make Duncanville a better place to live and work. And I would ask for your vote in the upcoming election.
As I said earlier, Duncanville is a great city, and we can make it greater with the support and leadership of the citizens of this great district, District 2. We can make it a greater place. When I spoke about waste and mismanagement earlier, one point I need to make sure that you all know, that the citizens or the council, with my opponents supporting it, purchased an $85,000 plus vehicle to decide to drive around to see if our streets were in disrepair or needed improvement. You don't have to go to great lengths to buy a truck to find out that our streets are in disarray. We drive on them every day. So I ask the citizens of District 2 to support me in my run and to serve as your council here in Duncanville, Texas, District 2. Thank you so much.
Steve Rutherford, Quentin Joyce. Thank you.